After years and years of blessing its fans' heart, Star Trek is still alive and well. And now that Star Trek Discovery is streaming, many people who never gave this franchise a chance are now trying to watch it. So if you're one of such people and can't decide where to start, make sure to watch this video till the end because we'll tell you how to watch Star Trek. Let's get started. So here's our suggestion of what to watch first. From our point of view, if you're new to the franchise, you should start at the beginning. It's not like there's a storyline here that you won't be able to understand without watching the starting point, but it'll definitely give you the proper kickstart, and you'll be able to work your way through the best of what the franchise has to offer. If you're just testing whether this Star Trek business is even your thing to do, we'll suggest you watch the episode Space Seed of the original series. It's the 22nd episode of the original Star Trek series. Once you're done watching that, we suggest you look over for the 1982 movie Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. The two are connected with each other and will also introduce you to an amazing villain. And just so you know, the movie we've suggested is one of the masterpieces of Star Trek. You can watch the episode and the movie on Amazon Prime. But if you want to watch it all, here's what you need to do. First, you should watch all 3 seasons of the original series. And for those who don't know, these 3 seasons consist of 70 episodes in total. Yes, you heard that right. The 3 seasons of the original series are actually equivalent to what we watch in over 7 seasons nowadays. For example, if you remember, Game of Thrones produced 73 episodes and spanned up to 8 seasons. Apart from that, bear in mind that this series was produced in the late 1960s. That's why it might feel a bit dated, but we can assure you that it's much better than you think it is. Also, because CBS remastered several scenes and effects of the original series in 2006, you might not find the actual series. But don't worry, the remastered series only has some high-definition TOS episodes, and there's nothing different regarding the plot or cast, so go for it. And after all, the real appeal is actually the cast, storyline, and the fun of the Kirk, Spock, McCoy triumvirate. These elements will keep you on the edge of your seats and force you into watching the rest of the franchise too. The whole original series is also available to watch on Amazon Prime. Next up, go for the movie trilogy. Honestly, skip the, what's that called? Star Trek the Motion Picture. We won't hide anything from you. This one might come up as a long and tedious ride for beginners. Given that it was actually the first time the franchise landed on the big screen, we'll assume that the movie was an experiment. The fun stuff is in the 3 movies that came after it. Starting with The Wrath of Khan, the tale of revenge is something you wouldn't want to miss. The plot of this movie is all about friendship, sacrifice, and aging. And we believe that this was the film that brought the real charm to the Star Trek universe. After all, there's the second movie called Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. Some may describe it as not as good as the other movies, but believe us when we say that some crazy stuff is often underrated. The film follows a plot that's about loyalty and turning death into a last chance to live. Not just that, but this movie is also a comedic piece. You'll have a good laugh because some of its scenes are genuinely funny. And then finally, we have Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. Many fans know this one as the one with the whales too. Unlike the other films in the trilogy, this one is probably the only one that has set the bar for comedy very high. Apart from the laugh it provides, we love how it gives the fans a proper and satisfying conclusion. After this, you might also want to watch Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. But let's warn you about it. It might ruin your love for the franchise because, from our point of view, this one's actually the worst one they could ever come up with. You can watch and enjoy Star Trek 3 and 5 on Amazon Prime. However, you can watch Star Trek 4 on IMDb TV or CBS All Access. Next, you may want to give the animated series a go. If you like the original series, you might want to give the animated series a chance too. Believe us when we say it's worth your time. After NBC canceled TOS, the original series, Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, somehow convinced the studio to let him produce an animated version of the series. Because it didn't cost as much as the live-action version and the story was promising, the studio agreed to it. But little did they know that this animated series would become the most expensive animated show airing at the time, thanks to all of the original actors from TOS who lent their voices to their animated counterparts. Everyone loved it, and we believe you'll too. Even though it was intended to be a kids show after it started airing, everyone, including teenagers and adults, were fully into it. Yes, it might not give you the same vibe as those high-definition cartoons the kids watch nowadays, but we think that any Star Trek fan must watch this too. So, if you decided to watch it, access it on Amazon Prime. Not just that, after TAS, it's mandatory to watch Star Trek The Next Generation. Let's be honest, TNG might seem a bit boring in the first 2 seasons, but after that, we think it found the right way to move. While some of the early episodes might seem very bad, we think you shouldn't give up and keep watching until you reach the 3rd season. But if you don't want to go through that, just watch episode 23 from season 1, as that'll introduce you to almost all the characters. And we believe that's enough context for you to go on and watch the next season. This might not be the best, but we think you should get a hook of TNG 2 while you're at it. You can access the series on Amazon Prime, CBS All Access, and Netflix. Also, Star Trek Deep Space Nine is also a good choice. Now, because you've landed in this Star Trek universe, here's another one you'll probably like watching. The Deep Space Nine follows the adventures of the infamously gritty siblings. And just so you know, these siblings aren't some ordinary stuff. They deal with quite a lot of heavy subjects and love breaking rules. The series features a whole starbase instead of just a starship. Not just that, it's a mix of both Federation and non-Federation crew. You'll understand this analogy once you've watched all the shows and movies we suggested to you earlier. Apart from that, what we love about this one is that it doesn't show the heroes as always right. The moral complexity is something you'll enjoy. This is something from the franchise that looks much more modern compared to the older stuff. The tone is excellent. The storytelling is even better, even though it aired about 20 years ago. The series is available to stream on Netflix, Paramount Plus, and Fubo TV. Finally, do give Star Trek 2009, Into Darkness, and Beyond a watch too. Die-hard fans might criticize us for suggesting this, but come on, if you were a fan, you wouldn't have been here watching this video in the first place. So yeah, trust us and watch this series too. The old movies require you to watch the classic series in order for you to know about the characters. But what about the new Kelvin films? For those, you'll need to watch this one because it'll introduce you to the newer characters and will also give you a hint of what to expect for modern movies. It's a good idea to watch if you prioritize spectacle over introspection. But if you get into more details, then Star Trek Enterprise is your way to go. This series was solely produced to give fans an idea of what it looked like before the Federation came into being. After all, it's impossible to say that it was there all along. This one will give you an insight into where exactly all this stuff began and what forced everyone into forming the Federation. But once again, only go for this one if you want to know about the whole backstory and are ready to see the long road. If not, you may skip it. Watch the 2006 show and then go for modern movies. We bet you'll enjoy every bit of this whole sequence. And with this, it's time for us to wrap up this video, fam. What are your thoughts about this video? Do share your thoughts and suggestions about what a beginner must watch in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll soon be back with more amazing videos. See you in the next one.